Hey everybody, it's Frankie-Lou. I'm coming to you here from the Grow Together homestead where I'm doing a little seed saving. Seed saving in a few different ways. I think people spend way too much money on seeds. Seeds are perfect and they've been around for over 360 million years. And to put that into perspective, our predecessors only started using stone tools about 2.5 million years ago. And it seems to me that we human beings have been trying to mess up seeds ever since. They're pretty perfect the way they are. I like to think of them as like a perfect little package of genetic potential. And as such, they do have perfect protection built right into them. We can save a lot of money on seeds by stopping the messing, okay? First off, I used to work at a garden center, and I can tell you a couple things about the way that we deal with stuff in garden centers. And my impetus here is to help you save some money. Because I can let you know, for one thing, I see on a lot of the postings and stuff, people being so concerned about using seeds that are old. Seeds can last for years and years and years and years. There are many times I can tell you that I went and picked up a package of seeds that was 10 years old, planted it, and sold about 80% of the little seedlings that came out of the germination. Seeds do start to decline in their germination rate as the years go by, but if you treat them properly, they can last, I swear, a decade. I have many times, even in my own home garden here, planted seeds that were 10 years old. The key is you want to get your seeds from a reputable source, okay? There are lots of good ones out there. I have my favorites, and if you want to know, please ask me and I'll reply in the comments. But they have to be cared for properly once you do buy them. If you do that, they will last you for years and years. I see people throwing away seed packets they've only used, because let's face it, most home gardeners are not going to be planting 40 tomatoes. I plant 40 tomato plants, but I'm crazy and I live on a homestead. Most home gardeners are probably only going to be using a quarter to a third of their seed packets, and I used to see people throwing them out. And no, don't do that. What you want to do is you want to hold on to that seed pack and take care of it, and you can plant it again the next year. Some of my seed packs I've had in these little, they're 5 years old. I'm going to plant them next year. They'll be just fine, okay? So that's one thing. Do not get rid of your old seeds. Hold on to them. Or you can share them with friends. Like maybe you buy one pack of seeds of one type of tomato that you love and another friend buys another pack. Switch it up. Find some like-minded friends. Save some money there. But don't throw away old seeds. Just take care of them when you do have them. Okay? One thing that I see a lot of people do is freezing seeds. I see people saying, oh, I'm going to vacuum seal it or freeze it. You don't need to do that. I have found for myself a very successful method is to store them in paper bags. They generally do tend to come in paper bags, okay? And then what I do is I place them in another container that I can seal up. Okay, I don't want this to be too airtight because I don't want humidity to grow in here. And I then just label this, like this says flowers. I've got like about 80 flower seed packs in here. And then I store these stacked up nicely in my heated garage through the winter. And guess what? Those are all going to germinate next year. Okay, as I said, there will be a slight decline in germination, but with this method that I have here, as long as I maintain fairly dry conditions, I don't freeze them, I don't freeze dry them, I don't put them in seedly packs. You don't need special equipment. An old Tupperware container or an old feta cheese container will work just fine as long as they're in nice little paper packets. I used to keep them in plastic bags. Some of them rotted. probably because there was humidity caught in there. So I don't store anything in little plastic bags anymore, both because it's wasteful and because this is a better solution. Paper bags, little paper bags. Okay, so that's one way of saving some money. Don't get rid of your old seeds. Now, the garden industry, though, does release seeds every year. And every year, most stores, both you can sometimes get it directly from suppliers this way, and also most garden centers usually has a whole bunch of the previous year's seeds still sitting in their store in January and February. Earlier than that in nicer, warmer climates, but here in Zone 3, January and February is when garden stores and garden store suppliers start marking down the previous year's seeds. So buy them then. If you're buying, I know that the store I worked at usually had them on at 50% off at that kind of time of the year, because they're trying to get rid of the previous year's seeds so they can sell next year's seeds, which the suppliers are going to start bringing them in. That's when I go to town. I save my Christmas money and I go and get all my seeds for the year, usually at half price. I almost never actually plant those seeds because I still have lots of seeds left over. I stockpile. Really glad I did that this year. And then I have those seeds that I purchased on sale, and they're going to work just fine. Okay? Now, so 2 things. Don't get rid of your old seeds. Number 2, buy your seeds on sale. Usually you can get them from suppliers just prior to spring at a much discounted price. There's nothing wrong with those seeds, okay? The garden centers are keeping them nice and dry, and they'll work perfectly. I will add in a caveat that this year that might not be as big an option, because I know a lot of centers sold out of seeds with what's going on. But hey, more people are gardening. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Now, last of all, and this is kind of the funnest part, is I actually save my own seeds from my garden as well. Not all seeds can be saved. I do tend to plant a lot of heirloom variety. What that means is that the parent plant will produce an offspring that will be true to it. So a lot of hybrids, and I do buy some hybrid tomatoes because I love, like I said, 40 different tomatoes. But if I plant a Castellato hybrid, Castellato heirloom tomato, the mother plant that makes that seed will produce from that seed a plant exactly like it. So for heirloom varieties, seed saving in your own garden is a good idea. The only thing I would suggest that you don't do that with is that whole squash family, because they're cross-pollinating crazy, and you can end up with some really weird stuff. Sometimes I grow them just for fun to see what it's going to be like, but squash isn't always a good choice there. What is a good choice is stuff like beans. If you've never done it before, easy start, okay? I'm going to give you an easy start here. Beans and peas, awesome for seed saving. Scarlet Runner, one of my most favorite of all the things I plant, both because I'm a bee lover. They're wonderful for my bees, and I love these beans at every stage. I love them when they're young and tender. I love them when they're fully grown, and I even love them dried, cooked dried. Like, it's a wonderful plant. If you haven't grown Scarlet Runners, just do it. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is, I'll bring the camera over. Okay, so this is where those of you who really like a tidy garden are not going to like what I'm saying to you, because one of the secrets to seed saving is to let things die on the stalk. And I know a lot of folks want everything to look really pretty, and as soon as a plant bolts, they want to snip it down so everything looks nice. Well, nature's not tidy, and if you want to save a little money on seed saving, let the plant get ugly, okay? Because that's when you can save some money. Also, when it comes to seed saving, you want to be smart about the seeds that you select. Don't leave your piddliest plant. Take the seeds from your best plant, okay? Because that's where the best genetic potential is. So this seed has been sitting up on my deck, looking really ugly on its plant for about a month now. They were the best scarlet runners that I had. And now, you can hear it, it's all sort of dry in there. Now I can pick it, okay? So I know it's ugly to let a dead plant sit in your garden. It's gonna save you some money though. And this is gonna have perfect seeds in it. Very easy to crack it open. You see they're in there. They're gorgeous, okay? Those are ready to put in their little baggie right now. Use my little Sharpie pen to label it. Scarlet Runner Seeds 2020. There, done, okay? Or you can even eat these because like I said, they make a great dried bean as well. Another great option, peas. Okay, so there's a dead pea plant I pulled off of the out of the garden this morning. Once again, you want to hear that rattle sound? That's when you know they're ready. Okay, if you pick them before that, they're going to be a little wet, and if you go and then they might rot. Okay, so you want it to be really, really nice and dry. If you want to be extra sure, you can always hang this somewhere for another couple of days once you take it off to make sure that it's fully dry. Okay, you can do this with flowers as well. Easy start, flowers, sunflower. That's a no-brainer, right? Here's a little ornamental sunflower I had. I'm gonna take this part off, gonna crack it, and I got all these lovely little, this one's a little wet, so I'm gonna let these sit a little longer, but I have all these lovely little sunflower seeds, okay, that I'm gonna keep for next year. Actually, this one I'll probably put out for the birds to eat or give it to my chickens in the middle of the winter when they really need a special treat, okay? Flowers, calendula. Yep, I left this ugly thing sitting there till this morning. But look at all the lovely seeds I've got. So they're ready to go, okay? That's the seed pack worth of seeds from one flower. So if you think about it, you can get some really, really nice stuff from your own garden if you're just willing to let it stay a little bit ugly for a while, okay? Now tomatoes, that's a whole other business, and if I have time, because it's really busy here, I don't have a lot of time, I will probably try to do a tomato seed saving thing, but once again, you want to choose the best. Ooh, I have a really lovely Berkeley pink tie-dye tomato that I'm gonna see. You might want to eat that, and you can just make sure you scoop out a few of the seeds. I let these dry on a paper towel, and then I pop them in one of these. I'll plant it next year. Okay, there's lots more. Oh my goodness, there's so many different flowers and plants, but you just want to let nature do its thing. Like I said, we've been messing with it for so long. Whereas if you just let nature do its thing, let that favorite lettuce plant bolt, don't pull it up, leave it. It'll flower, it'll produce seeds. Save those seeds, plant them next year. You can save a ton of money that way. I've got so many little packets of seeds in here, these packages from ones that I've done. So if you have any questions, do let me know. But do take advantage of those sales in the store. Don't throw away old seed packets. Store your seeds in a nice container in paper, not in plastic, and save some seeds from your garden. It's super rewarding too, you know, to know that you're part of that cycle, that you actually produced the mother plant and now you're producing another generation that you can use and eat as well. So I hope that's helpful. As always, if you have any questions, please do let us know in the comments. Angus and I are going to do another couple videos soon on beekeeping and maintenance for the fall. And if you want to see any of our other stuff, make sure you subscribe. And I hope you take this chance to grow together today. Thanks.